Okay, so hello everybody who is actually watching this, but I have a new build coming out soon. I'm actually just playtesting it to hopefully have it out today or tomorrow, because I've been putting a lot of work into it, and also to celebrate because I was actually reviewed. I gotta do Mod Madness Spotlight, so that's something I've been looking forward to for quite a while being a possibility. I found a lot of my favorite mods that way, so it actually means a lot to me. In any case, one of the first things, I made some changes to the menu here. Heretical Doom options are fully compatible with the new menu system, which was introduced a few versions ago with GZ Doom. So it'll show up on the bottom just like with, other mods. As you can see, I have Colorful Hell and Universal Gibbs, Damn Numbs. I have a couple things also going. But in any case, when you select the Heretical Doom options, it will give you a CVAR for automatic reloading. So by default, I believe it's set to off, which is actually how I prefer, but I've had it on for testing purposes. So what this will do is, when I fire and it's off, you'll see it just goes back to normal, and then I have to manually reload if I want to reload the weapon. But if you have it set to auto-reload, as you can see, most of the weapons listed there will automatically reload in their ready state. So, there we go. It'll just kind of right back up. It seems like it's actually going a little faster than I expected though, so I may need to touch that up a bit. Let me try... No, that's about normal reload speed. What? Okay, yeah. There may be something with the way that it starts up. It may be getting kind of like a quick start. So I'll have to look into that. But in any case, I'm going to keep it on for testing purposes, and I'll be able to compare the frame data and everything a little bit later. Let's see. One of the other things you may have noticed is that there are some changes to the HUD here. On the bottom right near the ammo is a little picture of the crater might. It's not an item anymore. You can't pick it up and select it and stockpile 10 of them or anything like that. But what it'll do is, if you have full ammo, just to get ammo here, you'll see that it's well, when it's full, it'll get used up. Let me just do that so I can show you. Now, if I collect these ammo pickups here, you'll notice it's slowly starting to fill up. And I'll just kind of... okay, so it's starting to fill up there. It takes a while to fill up, but what it'll do is it'll improve as you pick up ammo when your ammo is already full. So if I use up a bunch of ammo here, and then I go to pick some up... You should drop some, there we go. So if I go to pick some up, it doesn't increase at all. Now, it'll do it for all different types of weapons. So, the crossbow, the fire mace, all the different weapons, they'll have different values that they'll give you to refill the crater if your ammo is already full. As much as I love the song, I'm going to do a fresh start here. So, that was a big change. Another one is the flechettes. One of the big things in the Doom Mod Madness video was that he did not like having so many quick binds, which is something I've been trying to tackle for quite a while now. This is a temporary workaround, but I wanted to give an option for players that prefer to have them as a separate weapon instead of quick binds. So they are currently a slot 9 weapon set. Now, if you press number 9, you'll go through the different ones. I currently have tags enabled for weapons so that you can see how it lists them on there, but as you may or may not know, tags don't show when you select them manually from the numbers here. So each one will have a different color for it, for the different color flechettes, and they function the same as when you use them with the quick use, almost. The green one is slightly different because it's thrown from an actual angle, since it's to the right, so it's not too sharp, but it's just a little bit. I just felt it matched the sprite a little bit. Now, unfortunately, I've been running into a lot of trouble with the check system for these because they don't use ammo. They use an artifact. So when I run out, I have to have it still have something here, and then I have a prompt that says, "You're out of green flechettes. Ignore the one in your hand." Because I didn't have a way of animating that yet. So when I learn how to do something like that, I'll be able to fix that, but for now, you got what you got. So the same thing with the blue ones. I did update the gas so that it is actually blue now, so you don't have to worry about it being green and looking all weird versus it came out of a blue flechette. But it's the same thing. You activate it the same way, you're out of blue flechettes, you know, just like that. And same with the red one. Now, part of the reason I didn't use the red one yet is because I upgraded all of the gravity fields. This is actually something I've been trying to do for a while, and I'm glad it finally worked out. But with the gravity fields, I made it so that they can pull in most items. So if you have items that are out of reach or anything like that, you can just put down a gravity field. It'll pull them all in place. You can pick them up. So when you got these ones like up here where you can't get to them or anything like that, you can go ahead and drop one. I think I have to be a little closer. Oh, yeah, it's not getting a direct line. Okay, never mind. So if you have a direct line of sight, you could do it. Ironically, I'd probably be able to do it from out here, but I'm out of them. Now that does apply to all of the different gravitational fields. So if I just do give level 50 real quick, get all the weapons. Whoops. There we go. So if I were to use, where is it? There we go. So if I were to use this gravitational field, it'll pull them in. There we go. And likewise, if you were to use the one from the fire mace, it'll pull them through as well. Oh, excuse me for a sec. Sorry. So, one of the reasons why I don't like using the auto reload personally is because of this bug I run into. It'll refire just fine, but it'll go to that immediately after, and sometimes that can cause some problems because of the time of the animation. It doesn't so much mess with you gameplay-wise, because if you hold down the button during the firing animation, you'll still get it on the first frame you can. But it does kind of impose a bit of a delay, so that may or may not be something that people see worth the trade-off, but I'll try to think of a way to make that interact a little better in the future. Also, I keep muting my mic whenever I have to cough, so hopefully that won't be coming through on the stream. If it does, I apologize. Here's another one, just kind of testing these out. I might as well go through the whole gamut. Actually, let me do this too. There we go. Got that. That's good, okay. That's good. Yep. Okay, we're looking pretty solid on all these. That one doesn't have an auto reload. I did also make it for the Sid Wrath here. It will automatically reload the same way, and it follows the same rules. It has a small delay as it's setting up. All of that, yada yada yada. Now, one of the things that I updated is the where is it? There we go. Phoenix Rod. So the Phoenix Rod has shock combos now. Why don't you go ahead and get out of here? Get out of here. Alright. Anyway, so it has shock combos. It currently has 3 of them. I'm probably going to be expanding on these a bit later. You know what? I don't want to deal with them. Let me just kill them real quick. There we go. So with the shock combos, there's 3 of them. There's one for the gold wand, for the Dragon Claw and for the Hellstaff. Now, they have different effects, and there will be more of them in the future. These are just the 3 that I've come up with so far. But the level 2 version of the charge shot is a little different from what it used to be. Let me go outside here so I have more room to work with. But before, it used to just travel until it hits something and then explode. Now it'll travel and slow down in midair, and after it reaches a full stop there, or about when it reaches a full stop, it'll just detonate. So the reason for this is so that you could shoot it out of midair. Now, if you use different weapons, like I mentioned, they have different effects. This is the one for the Dragon Claw. It makes a barrage of bouncing bullets. Now, they will last for quite a while. I think they're set for like 4 or 5 bounces, and there's quite a few of them. So it's very inconsistent, but very random. You can get a lot of damage out of it in small areas, but in an open area like this, it's not going to do you much good. You know, that's going to drive me crazy. Let me turn that off while I'm demoing this stuff. The Gold Wand one is actually a carpet bomb. It'll drop off a bunch of the secondary fire projectiles. Now this one's really good for if you are shooting over top of a bunch of enemies. So this one's actually probably the most versatile, because it's really easy when you're in an area to shoot over top of enemies that are advancing, switch over, just pop one, blow them all up. The other ones definitely have their uses, but I would say that's probably the most versatile in regards to the maximum amount of places you can apply it correctly. Now, the next one is the one for the Hellstaff. This one is really cool visually. Yeah, I love that. But in terms of practicality, it's a little tougher to use. For this one, my best application I found is when you're attacking from a elevation, and you have an open area you're shooting into. So from up here would probably be a good example. I don't know if this might be a little too shallow, but I'll try to... Yeah, it might be a little too... There we go. So what that'll do is it'll shoot like that, it'll spray around in all the different directions, and the best it's used for is obviously very high versus very low, to be able to angle it. Or, if you were in a very large area, you could use it at ground level, and then shoot it ahead of your enemies who are advancing, because then they'll charge right into the spraying burst. Now, one of the things you might have noticed is that whenever I do one of these shot combos, my mana goes down. Each shot combo will cost you 10 mana in 5 mana increments. Now, the thing with that is that it doesn't actually check for if you have mana to be able to do it in the first place. So if you had... oops. You had 0 mana. You go to do one of these, it will still work. However, you'll be at 0 mana, and then it'll just start to reaccumulate like normal, so it won't go into negative mana at least. So that means you could still use this in a pinch whenever you want, but it does still have a penalty to it. Well, a cost to it, I should say. It doesn't cost any extra mana or anything. The most that you're going to be investing into this is going to be the initial 15 mana from charging this up. Now, I may increase that amount. I haven't decided yet. As of right now, I think it's 5 for that, 10 for that, and then 15 for that. So I may change it, but 15 might be a decent number for where it should be, because the attacks aren't terribly overpowered. They're mostly just alternate ways of, you know, doing stuff. So one thing I can actually show you now, since I have this crater full from all of these cheats I've been using. I have it set to a quick bind, but you can also use it from your inventory. So you have either option. Now it only shows up in your inventory when it's full. So if it's empty, it's not going to be up there. But when it's full, it'll be in there, so you can either use the quick bind or you can activate it. So you'll see it's gone from my inventory now. And then that'll refill all of your ammo completely. Now, just for comparison's sake here, I'm just going to shoot a bunch of these off. Okay, so you'll see that my ammo and my charge are not full, but if I go ahead and use the crater, it'll fill my ammo but not my charge. So that is important. You will not be able to reload all of your weapons for free by using the crater. Now that is a change that was done to the Megasphere replacement that will automatically refill, so they kind of traded off a little bit. One of the other things you may notice is that when I level up, I do not refill my health. I don't remember, I think that was this version I changed that in. Let me just double check real quick. Because that's something I changed a bit ago. But, yes, that is this version. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't refill your health automatically. It does do a few things though, like it'll give you a little bit of charge for your crater. Just little things to offset the penalty to it. Now, health and ammo pickups, or I'm sorry, health pickups, have all improved because of that. So, if I were to summon an armor bonus... Oh, they get pulled by gravity, I forgot to mention that. Actually, no, I did mention that. There we go, there's an example. It's getting pulled by gravity. Now, with the armor pickups, let me go ahead and take my armor up. Help if I could spell right. There we go. So, with the armor pickups, they pick up 3 now, instead of picking up 1. So, a little bonus there, a little bit to help out. So, you'll notice it's the same thing with the health bonuses. So, health bonus, it'll give you 3 instead of 1. So, it's a nice little thing, especially for mods like this with Colorful Hell, where they're plentiful. And also with some other map sets and stuff like that, where you tend to have a lot more of those, really, than the other healing options, I should say. Now, the Quartz Flask also got a improvement. With the Quartz Flask, take health 50%. So I'm at 100 now. If I go to use that, I got 55. The reason for that is because it's bumped up to 50, and then the difficulty that I'm at gives you a small increase to it. It gives an extra 5 points at that point. So different difficulties all have different health scaling, obviously, but the main thing is they're up from, like, I think it was 25 they used to be, now they're up to 50. So they give you a lot of health, and you can still carry a whole bunch of them. It's good times all around. So, now that I've gone over a lot of that stuff, I think that's the bulk of the major changes. I'm just kind of going through my list here just to make sure, because a lot of these, obviously, I'm going to be doing a playtest and going over them. I just wanted to introduce some of them real quick. Oh, alt fires, yes. A few new alt fires. The powered alt fires, I should say. Let me go ahead and get a fresh map here. All weapons. Give level 50. There we go. Now, with the new one for the crossbow, I actually like this one a lot. What it'll do is, it's a homing shot that'll bounce off of walls and cause all kinds of destruction. But it bounces off of each enemy and has a total of about 5 bounces. But if an enemy has enough health, it will actually lock onto that enemy and continuously drill into it. So let me go ahead and just summon a Spider Mastermind here. So you'll notice that it just kind of sticks to him and does a whole bunch of damage. I might actually die here. Let's go ahead and just get that real quick. So, okay, yeah, my spell's active. There we go. So, there we go. Doesn't take a whole lot of them to kill something as big as a Spider Mastermind, but it's obviously not too overpowered. And it still has a pretty decent cost to it. You'll notice that it has both options for the single fire and for the dual fire. It looks like I may need to rework which one goes to which, but for the single fire, it's going to cost you 5, and then for the dual fire, it costs 10. For some reason, it keeps going to the dual fire, so that's something that I'm going to have to fix. Let me go ahead and put that in my notes. Fix crossbow powered alts. to dual mode. Okay, I'm going to be keeping a small list like that as I run into these issues, so that way I'll have something to take from this playtest. But that said, that one's finished. This one's been improved, so there should be much less frame rate issues. Apparently I was spawning too many particles at once, so once I fixed that, the problem kind of fixed itself. This one's still unchanged. I probably will be improving it, but I haven't come up with anything just yet. This one is still as it was. I like it. I don't think I need to change too much with it. The Phoenix Rod one, I'm actually pretty proud of. This one, anybody who played Diablo 2, or Diablo in general, I guess, should be pretty familiar with this one. It's, let's go ahead and activate that, gets a bunch of extra mana here. It's a flame wall. Now you can put down multiple of these, and they don't do friendly damage. So the main thing for them is obviously going to be for blocking choke points and such. They do have a small slide to them, as you can see, but for the most part, they don't really move too much. Now, they stun lock almost anything. So if I were to summon that Spider Mastermind again, you'll see that even somebody as big as him, he's got a little bit of room to move around, but not much. Now, if I were to put down multiple of these... Yeah, there we go. So, pain chance is obviously going to determine whether they could be stun locked or not, and also if they have enough health to even sit inside the fire, I guess. But, the range for them is not terribly big. Basically, it's what the visible representation is. So, you're not going to be throwing these and, you know, filling an entire room unless you have a lot of health and mana to do so. The Fire Mace I have not gotten the powered alt fire for yet. It's still next on my list with the other ones like the gauntlets, but I'm getting there. Almost all of them are done. It'll be another version or two until they're finished. Let's see. Is there anything else I missed? No, that's pretty much it. Okay. So now that I've gone over all that stuff, we can get a good playthrough run, nice and proper.